This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. You have the code for a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you never stood here. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
And do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Darl, the movement dedicated to empowering men, uniting brothers, and building a strong coalition. This is more than just a conversation. It's a call to action. Join us as we uplift, support, and inspire men worldwide. Because together, we don't just talk, we lead. We grow and we conquer. Are you ready to be part of the coalition? Let's dive in.
Welcome to Man Talk 133, where men unite. What's up? You know what, y'all? I got a superstar on tonight, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you here.
Yo, brother, look, we've been trying to work on this thing for a minute.
Cool.
And we finally got it.
We
Got it worked out, man.
Yeah.
So tell the people who you are, tell them about you, and we go from there, man.
All right. Again, thank you for this opportunity to be on your show, man. And who I am is that others see their greatness through my self-expression, while empowering others in their causes, all while helping others see their forgiveness in their language. While I get to be here and here, right, as I work on my eternal salvation. So that's who I get to be. Now, what I do in the world is a whole nother conversation. We could go down the line. I'm an advocate for sickle cell trait. I'm sure we'll get into that conversation.
Yeah.
A grandfather, dad, what else? My own nonprofit for sickle cell trait awareness. I'm a speaker for mental toughness, mental health, veteran suicide, youth suicide, co-owner of 3 ABA basketball teams here out in California. Partner in another company called EQ Athletics, where I'm the volunteer president, running that company over there with some guys. And with that, we go into school districts, teaching leadership, emotional intelligence, social emotional, and sports conditioning. So that's a
lot. That's a lot.
I got a lot of vehicles, man. A lot of vehicles. And I'm on the radio. And I'm on the radio like 2.5. I got 2.5 shows.
You see what I'm saying? Let me get one of the vehicles, man. So I could.
Let's roll.
Yeah, for real, man. So, all right. So now you name a lot of things you're doing, right? Where did you start? Like, okay, like for example, me, I've been on the show, like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where did you start? Like, I know you're veteran, just like I'm Air Force, you're Army, right?
Yes.
Tell us more about your story. You know what I mean? Where did it start? How did you get into the sickle cell? Because I think you have it.
Yeah, I'm a trait carrier.
Yeah, trait carrier. So give us some background on that.
Yeah. How I got into radio is where this all started. Literally when I collapsed in the military, 2006, from sickle cell trait exertion with rhabdomyolysis. Well, we'll talk about more about that. But the depression, suicide ideation, I was lost interest in sports. A lot of things in life I lost interest in. And just one day, my buddies was like, "Man, you need to do something with yourself." I guess they saw me spiraling out of control. Yeah. So they were like, "You need to do something." So in 2009, I went on internet I found this station called Blog Talk Radio.
Mhm.
Did some research, and I created a show. Back then, it was free. You got 2 hours for free,
Wow.
and I created a talk show. I realized today that interrupted the willingness to die.
Mhm.
So finding that internet radio station actually gave me a space to start to live in the future of those episodes. So created a sports show. I found a guy, went on Facebook and found a guy named Sports Log Sports Wall. He posted everything on his Facebook page about sports. I mean, you name it, water polo, everything was
Wow.
on his page.
Mhm.
So I reached out to him and was like, hey man, look, I want to do this show. And I want to know if you would be my co-host or my host. And he said yes. And he was in Boston. So I'm in LA, he in Boston, 3 hours difference. And he was on every episode with me when we started, man.
Wow.
And I still don't watch sports, but I could talk trash, right? I could communicate. So he really
Right.
pretty much led the show, and kept me alive, man. And then when I saw that sickle cell trait had caused a lot of deaths in athletes,
Mhm.
so I saw my connection back to sports from another perspective of this. My relationship to sports now is that athletes have collapsed and died, and NCAA made it mandatory for student athletes to have a sickle cell trait test done. So I started interviewing the sickle cell community. So I went from defending this country, thinking that my life was over when that uniform came to an end, to finding a whole nother community of people that I was connected to with this inherited gene. And that was the start of all these vehicles and just where I'm at today with it.
Wow. So I never been in this place
Yeah.
before, like wanting to take your life. What made you get to that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I can articulate it to you today after 16 years of work of peeling these layers off,
Mhm.
and it was my identity. My
Wow.
identity was trapped in that camouflage and that rank. I mean, I joined the military at 19 years old,
Mhm.
so I spent most of my life from 19 to 43 in the military.
Wow.
So I can tell you the day it shifted, basic training about 3 weeks in, we got smoked that day. I was laying on my bunk that night after taking that shower, and I was looking at the ceiling and I was like, what am I doing here?
Right.
And then my brain clicked and it became a routine.
Wow.
It became a routine after that. I was no longer that, young 19-year-old child. Now I'm a soldier, and I took everything that they practiced apart.
Wow.
He was going to keep me alive, keep me safe, and protect my brothers and sisters. So then the biggest change was going from E4 to E5, that rank. So that
Yeah,
rank, I
yeah.
became sergeant. Sergeant Dozier. Hey, it was like, so the pride that came with that, all of that, to E6, E7. And then and so when that medical board process, because it wasn't by my choice, it was because of my collapsing with the trait,
Mhm.
they found me not fit for service. So I wasn't trying to get out. I'm trying to, I was at my
Yeah,
E8 school.
yeah.
So I'm working on my next rank, progress. So
Mhm.
I want to do like at least 31 years. So I'm not trying to get out. But at that episode, it altered my career, man. And so that identity crisis
Mhm.
that I experienced was, and I've had stress, but that mental anguish
Yeah.
that I felt during that time, man, I had never felt nothing like it. I knew I had mental toughness because I played basketball. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
got mental
yeah.
toughness, leave my stress on the court, but because I had that physical episode, so I couldn't play ball no more. I couldn't exercise. So I had no stress relief. So I internalized everything. And then it led to that. It's hopeless. So my military career is over. My life is over. And I
Wow,
collapsed
'cause you
those
put
two
so
worlds.
much in it. Wow, it's just kind of like an athlete. They play their whole career, and once they don't hear this, a lot of them, go into that spiral. They want to, take their lives. And it's
Yes.
kind of like the same thing, basically, like you went through, right? But
Yeah,
it's
that's how we
military
teach it. That's how we teach it. The relatedness is athletes, but look at police officers,
Yeah.
5 people that wear uniforms. And if you've been in that space for a lot of your life, and when that uniform comes off, athletes are close to us
Yeah.
because you've been playing football since you was 5 years old or whatever age,
Yep.
and you've been blessed to go to the next levels and maybe that professional level. And then when, like you said, when that's over, who am I?
Yeah.
And if you haven't found your space during that time, a lot of us, in that what's next, we don't realize that there's life after the military, there's life after
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah.
And so
So after that part, once you found out what's next? I guess what next was the radio show.
Yeah, well that was the space, like, you know how people use music for therapy, so they're different therapies. So the radio became my therapy, my personal therapy, because I was living into those next episodes. So I had interrupt that willingness to die by creating those different talk shows.
Wow. So you mentioned,
kept me alive.
You mentioned 16 years of going. 16. So I would imagine the first like 6 months to a year had to been like really bad.
Oh, it was terrible. I was drinking vodka and cranberry juice before every episode because I was trying to calm my nerves.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I don't even know who's listening. Like, it was brand new to me. So I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is I had my laptop, a phone line, and my buddy Sports Log on the other end of that phone line, man. And we would talk about life and sports, man.
So after that, then you went to what was next after that radio show?
So it was crazy. It was crazy because when I saw that connection to sports and my sickle cell trait, it opened up a whole nother world that I could be this advocate.
Wow.
So the advocate I did, so all I was doing was changing identities.
Yeah.
I went from the basketball identity as a child to the soldier identity, and then when that one was coming to the end, I created the little podcast. Well, it was internet radio back then. It wasn't even podcast. It was internet radio host. Yeah. And then I went to an advocate for sickle cell trait. So I still, even becoming an advocate, I had to peel that layer off because I kept getting trapped in those identities. So I went to God like, look, man, who am I without all of these labels?
Yeah.
Who is Farhan with none of this stuff?
Yeah.
And that was the work that I went into.
Wow. So the sickle cell, when you found that out, you were older in your career when you found that out, right?
Man, I was 29 years old. The Air Force, I took my second physical at an LA Air Force base. And I was transferring to Michigan to be a supply sergeant for an infantry company. And I had to take the physical for that supply job. So I took that physical. The Air Force did my blood work. And because they test for sickle cell trait for their job skills, they found my trait, man. And they called me in a panic, like, you need to come back to the clinic like today.
Really?
And I'm like, what did y'all find? Like, like, what did you find? So I rushed back over there, man. And I sit down with my doctor and he's like, do you know you have sickle cell trait? I'm like, no. Okay, I just want to let you know you're a trait carrier. I'm like, hold on. I got a cousin with sickle cell anemia. He's like, no, it's not the anemia. You're just a carrier. So you should have no problems. Just don't have a baby with someone who has a trait because you can have a baby with. I'm like, bro, I got 3 daughters already. I'm leaving the state. I got no problems. Cool. I'm out. Like in one ear, out the other. And that was no pamphlet, no brochure, no nothing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out.
Wow. So, okay. So I know I'm kind of squirreling, but
you good.
But what's the difference in the trait? How does the trait affect you versus having the sickle cell anemia?
Right. So sickle cell trait, we're the carriers. So the parents who have children with sickle cell anemia or type of sickle cell disease, that means they carry that inherited gene. So I'm AS. So I have a normal adult hemoglobin and I have a sickle cell trait hemoglobin. So I don't get to choose which gene I pass. So I was passed from my dad, his sickle cell trait gene, and then I passed it to one of my daughters. So it's inherited.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Right. So if two children if the child is born with sickle cell anemia or sickle cell disease, that means they have 2 genes that can have complications, which is way more severe than what I carry in a sense, right? Because we're told that sickle cell trait carriers, you don't have problems, but we do have 1 copy of the gene. So what is that 1 copy doing versus 2 copies? Well, the 1 copy can also give symptoms like a person with sickle cell anemia, but in our own way. So the risk factors of exertion, blood clots, retina issues, false positive A1C levels, a rare kidney cancer. So we do. So that 1 gene is a pain. I've been having pain in my arm since I was 2 years old, my mom said, but I was told it was growing pains.
Wow.
So I'm 56 today and I have the same pain in my arm.
Wow. So we're gonna get. I got some questions. So we're gonna get back to it after the break. We'll be right back.
Cool. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to elevate your life? Join us on July 18th, 2026 at the Fresh Collective in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Align and Thrive Summit. This isn't just another event, it's a divine encounter. Connect with purpose-driven professionals and ignite your passion through empowering conversations. Whether you're seeking personal growth, professional development, or spiritual renewal, this summit has something for you. Are you feeling stuck or searching for your purpose? This is your chance to break free. Imagine a space filled with energy and support, where you can discover new perspectives and actionable steps toward your goals. Get in the room. This is your moment to take that leap toward the life you envision. And just like in football, we're heading into the Thrive Zone. This is where the magic happens. Speakers and vendors are wanted. If you have a message to inspire and empower, now's your time to shine. Save the date, invite a friend, and come ready to be inspired.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk
MB
133.
MB Radio.
MBRadio.us. Yeah. We
Man.
back with Brother Farron. So, all right,
Yeah.
before we went to the break, right, you was breaking down the difference between the two.
Yes.
So, when you collapsed,
Yes.
how did that disqualify you just because you collapsed and you had the trait?
Yeah, so that morning I was at ANOC, they called it back then, 2006. I was at my E8 school for Master Sergeant rank.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'd have finished that school, I'd have been on the list for the promotion for E8. So that last lap, I remember coming around the curve and I could hear the instructor, 1545, 1546. So I'm like, oh shoot, I'm doing good.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
36 years
balling
old.
out.
I'm 36 at the time. I got 1721 to pass. And I'm hearing 1540, so I'm like, "Oh man, let me, let me get my best time because I'm at the school." So,
Mm-hmm.
so my subconscious mind, get your best time. So I take off to sprint, and I did feel like this vibration come over my body, like this electrical charge.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think anything of it. Crossed the finish line, 16 minutes, hand over my head, hand on my head to get air in my lungs, all the stuff we're trained to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then my peripheral got dark. I started feeling weird, kind of nauseous. So I
Mhm.
kneeled down. Closed my eyes, opened my eyes, everything was spinning like a million miles an hour. So
Really?
they rushed me to the doctor. Medics came to got me, rushed me to the hospital. Doctor gives me an IV, comes back in and says, "You ever had kidney problems?" "No." "What do you do now?" And he walks out. So I'm like, what's going on, right? So the instructor's there with me and I'm like, man, what's happening? So the doctor comes back in and says, "You know what? It's probably heat stroke, dehydration. I'm gonna give you one more IV. Take the day off. You should be cool." All right, cool. Let's do that. Go back to the barracks. I wake up mid-afternoon, man, and I'm worse. I'm throwing up, almost crapped on myself, man. I'm in a bad state. So I lay back down. Of course, it's 16:30 because my classmates come in the barracks. They see me. They rush me back to the hospital that night. The night doctor does some more blood work, and he sees that my creatinine kinase levels are like 12,000 and rising. So that condition is called rhabdomyolysis, what they diagnosed me with that night. It's called rhabdomyolysis. So it wasn't even sickle cell trait related. This is just because I didn't think about it. No problems, right?
Right.
So that was my diagnosis, rhabdo. So they sent me home, couldn't finish the class. So the doctor, I was seeing a doctor until 2009, trying to figure out what happened to me in 06.
Mm-hmm.
And we just agreed that you can't exercise no more because every time I got on the treadmill or tried to exercise, I felt like I got off a roller coaster ride. Like I was still dizzy and my vertigo triggered, and I was just like in a bad state. So he was like, "Okay, you just can't exercise." I'm like, "Cool, can't do the run. I could do the walk or, the bicycle. I don't swim. I swim like a Chevy truck, like a rock."
Me too.
So I was like, I'll do another. I've seen people with worse. So yeah, I'll be fine. Man, we turned that paperwork in to the medical officers, man, and they was like, "Oh no, dude, you done. Like you can't do anything." I'm like, "What?" So I guess when they read my information and the diagnosis and the chart, finally they were like, "Nah, you gotta go. You can't. You gotta get a P4 profile. We gotta find out what happened to you." I'm like, "Man, that's 2.5 years ago. I'm cool." They're like, "Nah." So that was the start of the process. Almost 3 years later. And it took until from 2010 until 13, I fought it for 3 years trying to stay in, man. And because my body started to break down, developed a case of arthritis. So my whole body was inflamed. And so they was like, you're not fit for service. Wow. And so the medical board process started. And like I said, I fought it as long as I could. And they were like, nah, you got to go. So
wow.
That was it.
That's a tough blow there, boy.
Oh, my life is over. Yeah. I made it mean my life was over. And that's what I want our brothers and sisters in arms to understand, if I could say that. The camouflage, that uniform is the soldiers, what you get to do. It's not who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And I tell them when I speak now at the bases, don't lose yourself. Find something in the community that you connect to, those childhood dreams that you wanted to be, whatever that is. Find something that you care about and stay connected to that, so you can keep that connection to the outside world. So when those boots are done and that uniform comes to an end, you're not lost.
Yeah.
You're not trying to figure out who you are outside of that camouflage.
Yeah, that's a good point, because a lot of people you can see it now.
Yes.
People still, even though they're out, they still have the haircuts. They still have the, you can just tell they still want to be in. They haven't let it go yet.
Oh.
And it's okay to let it go. Like you said, it's okay to let that part of your life grow and go into something else, like you did. Like after that, after the military, you got out of that. Yeah. You went into the radio show. Yeah. Then what?
Then I saw the mental health provider that I was going to at the Air Force Base asked me one day, "What are you gonna do when you retire?" I said, "Man, I'm gonna sit on the dock of the bay and watch the tides roll away and whistle." That was my retirement song, bro. Yeah. I'm like, I'm chilling. I was like, but I do have an idea for a sports brand. God gave me this idea called What's the Count. I played basketball. Hey, what's the count? Oh, it's 5-4. Game. So I said, I do have an idea about maybe selling some hats and t-shirts or something like that with this idea. And so he opened up this book that he had written with his colleague, and it was a handbook for high school to college athletes. And so he opened up this page, and it had 2 paragraphs of athletes collapsing with rhabdo and sickle cell trait. And he was like, "You could become an advocate." I'm like, "What's an advocate?" He's like, "You could actually sell hats and t-shirts of your brand, and that could pay for your travels, and you can go educate people about your experience." Man, it was like the cartoon with the light bulb on top of my head, bro.
Right, yeah.
I was like, ding, 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 and it was like I heard him, and it was like, I know why I'm here. Wow. And I went home that day, man, and I did my research. I made a brochure. I found this whole sickle cell community. I jumped on the plane for the convention, flew to Maryland, showed up. Kiki Shepard was hosting that town hall meeting, that event, man. And I went in there. She passed me the mic. I introduced myself, and the whole room went silent. Because it was a sickle cell disease conference, and I'm over here talking about the trait. They're like, "Dude, what? You in the wrong place."
You wrong.
Like, what
convention, bro?
You the wrong convention, right? I'm like, what? So there was one lady, Phyllis Zachary Thomas, who had sickle cell. Her husband was in the Army, and she saw me and she grabbed me and says, "Farron, you can work with me because I know how important the sickle cell trait conversation is." And so she embraced me, and I work with her. And during our relationship, she passed away in 2012. So we're talking about 2010 to 2012. We had 2 years together. And when she went to do an interview, and she was out of Atlanta, and a prophet was at this interview, and he told her to go read Judges chapter 4. So she goes home after that and reads Judges chapter 4, calls me Monday morning and says, "Ron, you need to get your Bible." So I grabbed my Bible, and we were reading the passage of Judges chapter 4, and it's about Deborah and Barak and the war in Sisera.
Wow.
Well, guess what? I'm Barak in that passage, and she was Deborah.
Wow.
And Sisera is sickle cell trait, and Jabin is Sisera is sickle cell, Jabin is the trait, and Jael is the community.
Wow.
And when we got that revelation, man, we cried. And I'm like, all right, God, I got it.
You know what your purpose is.
I know. It's in the Bible. The blueprint was in the Bible, bro. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, God, I got it.
Wow.
I got it.
You got an interesting story, man. Like,
Yeah.
because it's certain things like you can't really experience unless you're in it. And I go back to, I'm going back to this because it seems like it's hopeless when you get in a situation where you want to take your own life, right?
Yes.
And you don't know how to get out of it. You know, it's just like I guess I never experienced. I'm just thinking from a perspective of being
For sure.
stuck.
For
You know what
sure.
I mean? Like, and that's what I want people to try to get from you. Like, you've been in the process, you've been in places and things that people have never experienced. So if you get in these situations, this living proof that you can make it through it.
I'm gonna give you this for those who listen. You mentioned hope, right? So we got hope,
Mm-hmm.
but the hope for us in our soul is mixed with hope and hopelessness,
Yeah.
right? So it's mixed together. They feel the same, but they're mixed together. And then when you get past the hope and hopelessness, it becomes to disappointment.
Yeah.
So now the hopelessness becomes disappointment because I was mad at myself. Why did I sprint that day? I didn't have to sprint. I had plenty of time. I could have, would have, should have still been in.
Yeah.
So now I'm not disappointed in the military. I'm disappointed in myself,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing I have to forgive myself in this episode that I wasn't aware yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was disappointed in myself. The disappointment led to despair.
Mm-hmm.
The despair led to self-loathing.
Mm.
The self-loathing led to why bother?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there were days I'm fine, and there's days I go back to that hopelessness,
Yeah.
the disappointment and despair. So until I was able to start doing that work, I was up and down the scale.
Wow.
I was up and down. But I was blessed that my mom prayed, because when I found this personal development course, it was something that she prayed, that she went to God like, please give my son something. If it's not the word, give him something to put him on
Something.
track.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, God did. He gave me that personal development education. Technically, there are biblical principles, but they don't label it as that.
Yeah.
But it's clearly Ecclesiastics. It's
Yeah.
clearly the fruit of the spirit. It's clearly the
Yeah.
Beatitudes, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just language different, and it's not a spiritual conversation because anybody could take those classes.
Yeah.
But when I got into that education, man, it led me back to the end of the course. Is, well, what's your purpose?
Yeah.
After you made up all these stories about yourself that ain't the truth, what's your purpose?
Yeah.
And so I grew up in church, born into it. So it was like, oh, my grandfather, purpose, passions, and gifts come from the Bible. So
Yeah.
I led right back to the word for the Bible. So it all, those seeds were planted in me, man, since my mother's womb, bro.
Wow. So why do you think most people never discover their purpose? Now, you discovered yours, I guess, through the military incident,
Yeah.
sickle cell trait, right?
Yeah.
So why do you think many people don't discover their purpose? Because, you can ask, since we're talking to the men, you can ask a lot of men right now, what's your purpose?
Exactly.
They don't know. And they wonder why they stay lost and stuck in a place. They don't know what the purpose is. And
Yeah.
it could be coaching. Whatever it is, I'm telling people, whatever it is that you're good at, that you
Yeah.
can inspire people, that's your purpose. So why do you think most people never discover their purpose?
If you look at life, you look at our life experiences, usually no one wants to talk about that negative experience.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about that hurt,
Yeah.
that upset, that maybe the molestation, maybe the drugs, maybe whatever that episode is. Maybe it's that chronic illness that we think that it's embarrassing. So you have to look at that human experience of, if I tell you what I'm dealing with, then you might not be my friend no more.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
So those afflictions and those thorns that the Bible talk about, those are supposed to draw us closer to God. So the world has opinions about that stuff.
Yeah.
But what does God have to say? So we got to get back in alignment with what God's word if you want to find out where your purpose and passion. So the world has all these opinions, so I'm not going to want to share that with you, bro.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably the thing that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Silently, emotionally. Who wants to know? I felt like I was abandoned by my mom.
Yeah.
I grew up like my dad didn't love me.
Who want to share that, right?
Who want to share that?
Nobody. Or even if they, like you said, if you take a man, he's been molested, who's going to want to share that?
Bro.
And we're up against the break, so we're going to jump right back in it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Stats tell that each day, 22 veterans commit suicide due to PTSD. These stats shook us and urged us to do our part. After hours and hours of thinking, Beekeeping for Veterans was born. Beekeeping for Veterans combines beekeeping with mindfulness meditation. Why combine them? Here's why. Beekeeping causes positive rush of adrenaline while beekeeping. You have to be calm during it. You are mindful of your movements. Each week, a veteran will receive a mindful meditation to build emotional and mental skill sets. Mindfulness is a set of 3 attentional skills that work together: concentration, sensory clarity, and equanimity, mental calmness, composure, evenness of temper. Every time mindfulness is practiced, we build these skills. Beekeeping for Veterans not only helps veterans overcome emotional trauma, but also aids our environment, as without bees, there is no food. Come forward. The people who have supported your country now need your support.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133. With me and you, Nate. Yeah. So we back at it. So before we went to the break, we was talking about purpose, right? So I kind of forgot where I left.
Let me drop one more on you, right? Because I was sharing with you why we don't share, right?
Yeah.
One of the things,
there you go. Yep. That's what
one of the things I learned when I ended up going to TV broadcasting. Well, I went to radio broadcasting first, and then I went to TV broadcasting school. But in radio broadcasting, one of the things that they told us in the school is that you can take an interview of a person that you're interviewing and chop that interview up and make them sound like the worst person on the planet just by rearranging those clips, right?
Yep.
So what they call that is slander.
Wow.
So I'm like, how can I tell you what I'm dealing with in my deepest, darkest secrets?
Yeah.
When I'm afraid that not you gonna judge me, but you might slander. I mean, you might slander my name. You might take what I tell you about my experience and go tell other people about it.
Oh no, they're going to
slander.
They're going to do that for sure.
So why would I want to? Again, so why would I even want to voice that? Why would that even come out of my mouth when I feel like that's gonna be like the end of all?
Yeah.
But that could be that community of people need to hear your story.
Yes.
That's what we know that.
Yeah.
But knowing makes no difference sometimes.
Yeah.
We know a lot of stuff, but knowing makes no difference. But if you know that, hey, I could share my story and I could help one person. Yeah. My story is not for the whole world, but I had to go to God to find out, am I cool? Because I want to educate the whole world. No, Farron, your story is for the people who are put in your path.
Yeah.
And you might be at a conference of 10,000 people, and one person might need to hear your message.
Yeah. That's
Are you gonna go show up? What if it's only 5 people at that event? Are you gonna go show up at that? Because there might be 1 out of 5 that needs to hear your talk.
Yeah.
It's the same energy. So when I got that for myself, like I said, okay, God, I got it. Now I got to do the work.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
Be the work. I got to be the work.
Yeah. And just like you were saying, man, like people are going to talk about you regardless, right? And like we was talking about, if a man's been molested, he's not going to share that.
Yeah.
He's going to hold that in. And I was watching a show and I forgot what it was, but the dude had this coach had been molesting guys, right?
Yeah.
He had videotapes of it.
Yeah.
And he found his tape. He fought. He did not want to watch it.
Yeah.
He was just and by him thinking that, he was expressing anger.
Yeah.
just all this anger was coming out. And then at the end, he ended up watching it, and it did happen to him.
Yeah.
And he kind of dealt with it better. And I guess that's kind of what you're saying. Like once you know what it is, you can identify it, then you can handle it better. You know?
See, I didn't tell my mom what happened to me in that same conversation until I was 46 years old.
Okay.
And I had to go back and look at how did that affect me?
Yeah.
Right? Because it did.
For sure.
And it affected me in the military because I would wait. I wouldn't take my shower until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when there was nobody in the bathroom, in the shower, bro.
Why was that?
Huh?
Why was that?
Because of what happened to me as a child.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So that was how it affected me.
Wow. Ain't that something, man?
And I didn't tell my mom until I was in my 40s, bro. After I started this work of healing, it was right there, packed away.
Yeah.
And I went to my mom, and she was like, she wasn't surprised either.
Wow.
Because it was like, family members. She was like, "Oh, makes it." I'm like, "What?" But I'm a 46 at the time. I'm 46 now. When I'm sharing this, what happened at 5-6 years old?
Yeah.
It's 40 years ago.
And that's so dangerous, right? Packing it in like that.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous part about it, because we think that it doesn't affect us.
Yes.
And it really does, in a way. Like now, when you talked about that at an older age, how did it impact you? Like, was it like a relief?
Oh, only because I had dealt with the like I had peeled layers off before I got to that one.
Oh yeah.
So I had took responsibility of my past, own my past, own my decisions and the experiences. So I was able to, as I was peeling those layers, because that first layer that I had to get in that education was the suicide ideation. Yeah. Like my life was over, man. When I took that class, it was over. I was ready. I had the plan, the willingness. I had everything. I had all of it ready to go. But I held on to my youngest daughter, Asia. I knew I had mental toughness, and I knew I didn't want to do that. But it was that battle in my mind, like, but no, it's hope. Why bother, bro? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, right? That's what you think.
That's what I think. But I had my daughter, and I'm like, I can't do that to her. So I battled, and that's what kept me, from doing that.
Yeah. So you said it was 16 years. What year do you think, 5, 6, 7, when you really felt like you had it under control? Like, the suicidal thoughts and the, you know what I mean? Like when it just,
I won't even say it's under control right now.
Okay.
I will say that at 40 years old, turning 40, there was this blink in my mind that said, there's got to be something better than this.
Yeah.
And biblically, 40 years is a generational change.
Yeah.
So I was into that 40-year-old phase of life, and like I said, those prayers got answered. I got in that education. So from 40, and I'm 56 now. So 16 years, I've been in personal development. I've done cognitive behavior. I've done listening skills. I've done grief classes. I've been in the Word 6 of those 16 years.
Yeah.
I've done recently grief support group. And so applying all that to my life in that conscious mind, the conscience mind is the middle mind, right? Where our morals, right? So that's where the information, that's where the Word of God is getting into. That's where, when you take therapy, it's getting into that part of the mind of your right or wrongs, good or bads, all those opinions that lives in that middle mind right there.
Right.
So when you start to filter that out with more truths, with your truths, not the stories of the truth.
Right.
It there's a shift. They call that where transformation lives. And so I applied all those things, man. And I had to challenge the first 40 years of my life is what I did.
Wow.
So I went back all the way from 40. And my memory goes back to a 2-year-old decision that I made about my mom and my grandmother.
Wow.
And inside of that 2 to 40, 12 decisions total.
Wow.
And I've been peeling off each one of them. That's why I said it ain't completely over, but I'm definitely I'm on the other side of it right now.
Yeah. So people got to understand it's work.
Oh, it's work.
It's work.
It's work.
If you got to pull off different layers like that, and it's not easy layers, it's hard layers,
No.
You know what I mean? You got to get inside and pull out all that old stuff. It's just like taking like a snake, and you put it down into the plumbing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
clean
exactly.
all that stuff out. That's kind of what
exactly.
it's like. And you got to keep doing it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the biggest part of that was at that blink that I heard, the willingness. See, people not willing to do the work.
Yeah.
It's conceptual. Oh, that sounds good for him. Oh, that sounds good for him. I can't do that. Are you willing though?
Yeah.
You're willing to do the work and just take, because once you find that one, I found 12, but it was the first one that I found that opened up the door to look at the rest of my life. Because if I made that story up that my life was over because my military career came to an end, well, what else did I make up?
Right.
Then I was willing to look. So I looked all the way back down 40, and I found 2-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 11-year-old, 14-year-old, 17-year-old, 23-year-old, 36-year-old, and 40-year-old decisions.
Wow.
And I had to go and take responsibility because I made all that up.
Wow.
I made it up. It was my truth, but it wasn't the truth.
Yeah. So as a male, when you go through those different layers like that, how does it affect relationships and stuff like that?
Buddy, let me tell you. After I went back and I started to discover those relationships that I sabotaged, I called ex-girlfriends. I got 2 failed marriages. So I called people in my life asking for forgiveness, man.
Yeah.
I took responsibility. Like that was me.
Yeah.
That was me. And so by being able to be willing to do that and call people in my life for forgiveness, not apologizing, but forgiveness, because I'm changing my behavior.
Yeah.
Right. So by asking for forgiveness, again, yes, it's for them, but it's for us first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I took responsibility. And of course I got mixed. What are you calling me for? Don't call me again. Yeah, I knew you was crazy. Like I got all of that. I got all of it. But the freedom. That's why forgiveness is so powerful, because there's freedom on the other side of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-forgiveness.
Now, during that process, I already know there was some distractions, and it was the enemy was the devil was coming at you with everything he had.
Everything.
And the fact that you're still here, it says that you were willing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you made the point that people got to be willing.
Yes.
You got to be willing to pull them layers off. If you're not willing to pull those layers off, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, man.
I hate to say it. I know people say, well, you pray and you seek the Lord. Yeah, but you still got to do something.
It's action. It's all actions. Action. Yes. Action. Hope is an action. Prayer is an action. Faith is an action word. Those are action words. The Bible, the biblical principles, you have to. That's what I tell people. A hammer. You look at a hammer in the toolbox. We know the hammer is powerful because it's a hammer.
Yeah,
you don't experience it until you actually pick it up and it's used by you.
Yeah, yeah.
The hammer has to be used by us to experience the power.
Yeah,
that's all therapy is. That's all the Bible principles are.
Yeah,
that's all kinds of behavior. You got to take those curriculums, those education, and apply it to your life. It's not conceptual.
Yeah.
When you apply it to your life, you're not going to be the same person. The more that you practice applying those principles and those tools, you're not going to be the same person.
And some people, like you said, it's too hard. They'd rather stay in this stuck place rather than just like, you know what? I know I need help.
Yes.
I know something a little off with me. And then it's just something that's just a little bit off. But I'm good with that. That's just how God made me.
Yes.
They'll use that one in a heartbeat. But that's not how he wants you to live. In torment all the time. It's just different, man. Some people, you look at it from a different perspective than what other people have looked at it. I've been watching, following you, watching your shows and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why I think the enemy was fighting so hard for us to get on here, because he already knew the power of agreement.
Exactly.
It's gonna, people watching this show that can really, really get free from what you're talking about.
As men and women, we're not exempt. Men and women aren't exempt. We suffer in silence. We suffer in silence. And what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? and it's something. And so you got to find somebody you have confidence. I don't even like the word trust anymore, because the word says trust in the Lord, have confidence in man.
Yeah.
So I'm not even supposed to put my trust in you. I don't trust myself 100%. So why would I trust you 100% when I don't trust myself? Right. So you got to, again, the word says love God with your heart, soul, mind, body, and love your neighbor with the same measure that you love yourself. Yeah. So guess what? I just been measuring my own self first, man.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Hey,
so when I measure me, okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying when I measure myself, then I can see how much I could give away to you. I can't give you 100% if I don't have. I can't give that. So I got to measure myself first.
Exactly. Hey, we'll finish this up right after the break, y'all.
Oh yeah.
It's time for a vacation, and Fairway Travels is here to share great specials for you to choose from. Discover the charm and features of one of Sandals' 16 all-inclusive, luxury-included, adults-only resorts, or a family-friendly beaches destination in the Caribbean. Or how about a couples resort in Jamaica? If cruising's your preference, get Thunderstroke aboard Carnival Cruise Lines or set sail on an award-winning Royal Caribbean ship. Join Virgin Voyages now for a wonderful adults-only sailing. It doesn't matter if you choose to travel by plane, train, automobile, cruise ship, or rowboat, we can help you reach your dream destination. Contact Fairway Travels today at 228-365-1012. That's 228-365-1012. Or email bookitnow247@gmail.com. Fairway Travels, where your journeys keep satisfying.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with my man Ferran up here talking some real stuff, y'all. I'm telling you, like, you can only understand if somebody's been through it. Just like, you know, some drug addicts make good evangelists because they can go into places that we never been in, right? And they can really talk to people. You have been in some places that, you know, a lot of people have not been in.
Yeah.
You know, lose your military career, want to commit suicide, sickle cell trait, and the list is going on and on and on and on.
Childhood. We talk about childhood trauma, but we know that we got mama and daddy issues.
Yeah, we got all that stuff going on. But see, the cool part about you is like you're in so many cars, right? Vehicles.
Yeah.
The fun part, I guess, would be the sports side of it, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, man. 'Cause, you know, I still can hoop. I still got it. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You know what I'm saying? I can still do a little something. So
man,
tell us about that.
So my basketball identity came from changing schools so much. So my seventh grade, I went to a school in the Valley, and then we moved to Melrose, and I went to a school that was up the street. So being a new kid on the block, it's like I walk on the yard, man, and I don't know anybody. I'm like, I don't know nothing. So I see these guys in the morning playing basketball on the court, man. So I go to the court, man. So now guess what? Ferran's on the basketball court in the morning, recess, lunch, after school. It became my identity. I even lost a girlfriend because I was playing ball so much in junior high school, bro. So that basketball identity, right? That was my connection. See, and our peer age is so important. This is what we teach. That transition from elementary to middle school is very important because by the time I'm 12, 13, I'm not talking to mom and dad no more.
Right.
Because they don't understand me. They're not listening to me. So I'm turning to my peers for love and acceptance. So when my identity at that age was like, okay, I'm friends with the basketball fellas.
Yeah.
So now I'm playing ball. That's where basketball came into full effect. So now, because I can't play like you, maybe I can still get out there and shoot some threes and stuff, play half court when I'm feeling good. But owning these ABA basketball teams, it allows me to fulfill my identity still. It's still in there. right? So I can't run up and down the court, but guess what? I'm just to be in the gym.
Yeah.
To hear the squeaky floors.
Yeah.
To hear the net pop, just to be in that, the whistle, like that's fulfilling.
Yes.
But again, it goes back to the vehicle of, but now these ABA players, 20 something to maybe in their early 40s, still chasing that hoop dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? You've got all this knowledge in basketball. Maybe you played overseas, maybe you went to college, but now you're still, it's not right or wrong. Chase the dream in the ABA, but then what's next? How can we take all this information and give it back to this next generation of basketball? Right?
Yeah.
So, and men, we're suffering. So I'm listening to them. I see myself. I'm hearing the conversations. I'm like, I can hear the fractures.
Yeah.
I can hear the wounds. I can hear the hurt as they talk. And I'm like, so I went to God, like, God, I want to be part of basketball. I want a basketball ministry. And it turned into being a part of an ABA team and then become a co-owner of 3 teams. So that's the vehicle to reach the community with these men, right?
Yes.
Who we talking about, this man talk, right? So I'm right there with them, and I'm growing and learning myself about myself as I'm practicing these principles and listening to them and sharing that, because I can't talk about nothing that I ain't been through.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't generalize my conversations. None of my shows, none of my talks are generalized.
Yeah.
You either talk from your experience or I leave it alone and find somebody else who could speak to that.
Yes.
But being in that environment, man, we're all suffering in silence from something. And these guys are great basketball players. Maybe they didn't make it to the level that they thought they should or could. But hey, I'm playing pro in the ABA, so that's their identity is connected.
Yeah.
But men need services like women. Why women get all the services, man? Men need services from the system, just like so it's all of that, man. And it's beautiful, but it's challenging because I gotta find the players, the coaches, I gotta find the money. So as an ABA owner, you only own the territory. Yeah. So I gotta find everything to fulfill this basketball season.
Wow.
But that even grew me. It stretched me because I live with I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it.
Yeah.
So that was what was in the back of my mind, right?
Yeah,
so all of those decisions that we're talking about,
yeah.
What is your mind saying to you silently when it talks to you about you better not do that again? You know what happened the last time you did that for Ron. Why would you put yourself? We're not going to do that. You ain't good enough. You know you ain't worth it. Why would they want to come to your games? Why would they want to play for you? Yeah. You ain't good enough.
Sorry team. Why would
That's how we talk to ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So this has helped me even break through those levels, because when I'm sharing from, as long as I don't put Farron in the middle of it. If I put Farron in it, it's no good. No good. But when I talk from the cause, vision for the team, man, people are all in. But if I put Farron in, they're not. So
yeah.
I suffer in silence because I don't think it's good enough. But I learned I have to remove Farron.
Yeah.
It's not about Farron.
Yeah. That's very important. And you know what's so cool about what you're doing is with the basketball is that men can relate to that. You know, sports, especially basketball. If you give a man a basketball, he can be 60 years old. He still think he can ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me show you what I got. And you know, you got an air ball. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But it's cool because you can. It's so relatable to the men, and you can get them in and minister. You know, it's a church across the street. They do that. I think it's every Monday. So they bring the men in, and before they begin, they pray. Yes. And then about midway, they stop, and then they have just fellowship, praying and talking about, and then they let them play again.
Yes.
But that's how you bring men in, because if you're trying to honestly, just being honest, if you're really trying to win a man by bringing him to church, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Because he goes to church, he gets beat down. You know what I mean? He gets talked about. He's supposed to be Father's Day service, and you dogging him out about dead.
I know I'm a sinner, but that's what religious does, though.
Yes.
That's why religion is so weaponized in that space like that.
Yes.
Because look, man, I know I'm a sinner.
Yeah.
But Pastor, tell me, how did you get through what you went through? See, the pastor don't talk about his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to just some just point to you. Okay, I know I'm a sinner, but I got problems. I got bills. People want power over their circumstances.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, that's what we want.
Yes.
We want power over our circumstance. I know I'm a sinner. I know I'm in rebellion. I know. But I got problems.
Yes.
How does the word work? How does the word look like for that?
Yeah. And that's been the issue, I think. We're trying to reach the men.
Yes.
They come in and they want to be, hey, show me what to do. Be an example. I understand you love your wife. You got to sit on stage. I got it. All of that I understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to love my wife. Well, you need to love the wife. Christ loved the church, right? I get all that, but how did he love the church?
Right.
If I don't know that, the simple things like that, it's still he leave out just confused as he did or even more.
Yeah, worse. So I ain't going back.
Yeah, I'm not going back. I'm done. And then especially when you throw in, the insults, and less of a man if you ain't doing this part and this part and this, and like I said, it seemed like to me it just brings back some trauma, and you get these trauma responses from them, and they like, you know what? The last time that happened to me, I'm not going back.
Not going back. I was gone for 20 years. I left church for 21 years old. I was gone from 21 to 40.
Yeah.
And then at 40, I started working my way back, but I still didn't come all the way back until my dad transitioned in 2019. And then I started contemplating on how much time I had left.
Right.
So I'm like, how, and my grandson was born 2 weeks after my dad passed. So now I'm an emotional roller coaster because my dad's not here, but now I got my new grandson. Right. I'm grandpa, like and I'm just bro. And so I went to God like, look, man, you're the God of my grandfather and my grandmother and my mom and my dad. I want to know you for myself. Yeah. I don't want fire insurance. I want to find you for myself.
Yeah.
And I could tell you that just early this year, after all the 6 years I've been in church and all the talks that I've done in church, he revealed to me that now go look at the Beatitudes. What's that first Beatitude? Blessed are the kingdom is for those who are poor in spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was poor in spirit when I came to Christ at 49.
Yeah.
I was feeding my soul with all the stuff, with the mental health and which is not right or wrong, but I was feeding my soul was softened enough that when it was time to come to the word, the transition wasn't difficult.
Yeah.
Because my heart was softened, my subconscious mind, my mind was like, okay, I'm a better person, but now I add the word to it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can't tell me nothing now, bro.
You
can't tell me nothing now, man. He taught me how to give my opinions about myself. I use the word as a mirror for myself first.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of opinions about Farhan, man, that was just negative and cynical, and I talked terrible to myself.
But you didn't know, and the enemy just steady feeding it, and you steady speaking it, and you steady manifesting it, because people don't know when you start saying ignorant stuff. And I said ignorant, y'all.
Ignorant
stuff, you're gonna produce ignorant stuff. It's just what it is. And men don't understand that when they say that stuff to their kids or to their daughters and to their wife, and it manifests, and you understand, well, why my house is like it is. Because the mouth, you just talk too much. And you don't pray enough out of it.
And those seeds that I'm telling you about were planted. Like I said, I picked the seed of disappointment at 2 years old. I could go back in my mind to 2 years old, man, that I made up a story that I was disconnected from my mother. And then I just realized, this is honest, just this few weeks ago, I realized that 2-year-old decision that I discovered at 40, when I finally did the work at that one, I made up a story at 2 years old that I was lost in relationships. I was unsafe in relationships. And I never, ever, ever want to feel that disappointment at all costs that I felt toward my mother and my grandmother.
Wow, man, that's tough because
I was 2 years old.
At two, what? But when I took psychology in school, they was just talking about how you can ask a kid, "Hey, did he touch you?" They say no, and you ask it so many different times. Well, I think he did.
Right.
And then I believe he did touch. Did he touch you like this?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think he did touch me like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't even touch him at all. It's just the mind, like you said, at 2 years old, you created this whole thing.
Yeah.
At two.
At two, bro.
You think about this. I know this is wild. We think about.
No, go ahead.
You're 2 years old, and you could come up with some stuff like that. People at 40, and they can't figure out how to get out of 50.
That's what I'm saying. But how many of us go through life and never discover what those fractures were? Like, I love my mom and my dad, but they got on my nerve.
Right.
So I went to work, and why did they get on my nerve?
Right.
And it wasn't, guess what? It wasn't them.
It wasn't them. It was
me.
The whole time.
It was me the whole time. My dad loved me. He loved me the way that he knew how to give love because of how he grew up. I had to go talk to my dad. How did you grow up, man? What was life like? Yeah. Oh, well, no wonder. I went to my mom. What was life like? Oh, well, no wonder, y'all. And they were 19 and 20 years old. My mom was 18. She couldn't even walk in high school because she was pregnant with me, bro.
Wow.
So they were babies. Now I'm 40 trying to figure out what it is to be a man. And I'm holding all this against my dad who had me at 20.
At 20.
Bro, they was babies.
Yeah. They had no clue.
No clue. So so out of that work, the compassion for my parents arose.
Yeah.
And it was like, what, man, I'm 40 trying to figure this out with 3 kids. And here they were at night and with me trying to figure out life. Man,
it's crazy, right?
No. They did the best they could with what they had.
Exactly. Hey, man, we out of time. So, hey, man, I want to thank you, man, for coming on the show, man. I'm telling you, this is a really good show, man. I really appreciate it. Hey, man, let people know where they can reach out to you, how they can connect with you and stuff like that. So we could, they can, if they need to reach out for something, they can, connect with you.
No doubt. Thank you. At Ferran Dozier on all platforms, FARON DOZIER. FerranD.com will lead you all to everything that I'm up to as well. So either one of those locations, FerranD.com or at Ferran Dozier on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those platforms. Easy.
Yeah, and I'll put all that stuff up too. Anyway,
and MBR Wednesdays at 4 p.m.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man, thank you again for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Man Talk 133 with me and your Nate. Until next time, y'all, God bless. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Hi, I'm Beaker with Military Broadcast Radio TV. We're your virtual MWR, bringing veterans radio, podcasts, gaming, animation, 3D printing, and a community that never leaves you behind. Download our Roku or mobile app today.
Wisdom to share if you listen this week, so pull up a chair and stay for a spell. We're heading down a trail where good stories dwell.